Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Beginner to Expert. This is part 23 Angular 7 tutorial. So in this session I will discuss how to use Angular material components or how to open a dialog and how to render the another component inside the dialog we will be discussing. Okay, so let's get started. So in my previous video, that is part 22, I discussed about how to configure Angular material and how to register that module Angular material modules in your features module. Okay, so here I am just summarizing what I have done in my previous videos. Okay, so here I created one ts file, that is app mat module. This is our custom mat module. Whatever mat Angular material module we supposed to use, those modules to be registered over here, and this module we have injected our features module uh, dashboard. Okay, account module. Okay, here you can check. So here I have registered. So this is one of my features module, and dashboard also. Once user logged in, then user can view their dashboard, and in dashboard as well I need to inject that mat module. Otherwise the dashboard module will get not get to know that about the Angular material module. Okay, so for that, here also I will use that app mat module. Also I created one container, that is employee container module, which will contain the employee registration as a form. Okay, so there how we will use that Angular material components. So I will show. So main best part of this Angular material is the dialog. Okay, so in the runtime we can open any component inside the dialog, you can say render. So and Angular will maintain that instance of the dialog. Okay, when need to destroy. Okay, and also we can easily pass data from one component to other component through using dialog. Okay, so that also how to pass the data and how to receive data inside the component when dialog means closed. Okay, so that thing I am going to show you. So for that only I created one employee container. So here is my module, employee container module, and here I have registered. Okay, here I need to register the mat module, as because so as this employee is a features component. Okay, so what are the features component would be there. There we need to register the mat module, because the features module actually resolved at the runtime. So dynamically loads the module. So in that time app module doesn't know about that features module. Okay, so that is why every time whenever we create a features module, what are the dependencies there, we need to register over that features module. So here dashboard module actually contains the routing of the dashboard. Okay, so like a user and product, I have also injected one registered one route, that is called emp route, and this is load children, means runtime we are loading the emp container module. Okay, so here also I registered that app mat module. Okay, but if I register over here, that this is not going to help us to render the mat component inside the employee container module. Okay, so I will show you why it is not possible. Let me open that Angular material. Okay, so here Angular material components. So I'm going to use one of the component, that is input component. Here I will copy and paste it. Okay, and let's see we can able to see that material input or not. So here you can check that one error actually came in the console. That error is related to, mat form field is not a known element. That means that employee module, we are actually loading that emp module container in the runtime. So in that time, as I said, Angular app module doesn't know about this module because it is loading in the runtime. Okay, so for that, to resolve that issue, we need to register app mat module inside the emp container module. Okay, so if we register, then only emp container module will get to know about this Angular material. Okay, now save the page and open the browser. Okay, here we go. So here you can check that now Angular material, that component is coming, that effect, all everything is coming here. So here what we will do, here I will put one button. That button name is register. Okay, register employee. And once I click that register button, one pop-up should come, and inside that pop-up I will load the registration form. Okay, so if I go to employee component container here, what I'll do, so here I will put one button. Okay, and I will add a little bit of style of that button. Here booster 4 is having some class name button, button small, and button primary. So and here register. Okay, and I will register one click event. Okay, on register click. Okay, so I'm attaching a local method, and I will define that method over here, and from here I will open registration component using material dialog. Okay, so and I will create another control that would be like registration control. Okay, over here inside the controls folder. Okay, so here I have created one control that is called emp register control. Okay, so in order to load that component inside the dialog, what we need to do, first we need to inject that material dialog component. So I will keep it as it is private, because I am going to use that module instance inside the .ts file only. Okay, so here mat dialog. Okay, so mat dialog, I'm going to use that this dot mat dialog and dot here. So some of the method means here a lot of methods is there. So one of the method is call open. Okay, so here you can check open. Inside we can pass the t, d and r. Okay, where t is the component or template reference. Okay, and another is d is the configs, and r is the return type. Okay, so here D for data type, R for return type, and T for is the it is kind of generic, but generic one. So we can pass any kind of type. Okay, so here I will pass my component type. Okay, so that component is emp register component. Okay, and configuration, here I will pass. If you pass one object and then control space bar, okay, just press control space bar, then you can find out the lot of properties of that configuration. Okay, here one of the properties, width. Okay, and I want, we can pass the width in pixel, or we can pass as in percentage. Okay, so here I just want that 50% dialog with, and another property is called data. Okay, this property actually help us to pass parent to child component. So I am opening the pop-up inside emp container, so this is become a parent component, and the emp register component, that which we are going to render inside the dialog, that component would be like child component, and we can pass from parent and we can receive the data in the child. Okay, so how to receive that data, that also I'm going to show you. Okay, here I know I just wanted to pass the src. Okay, src, uh, emp container. Okay, just passing, and other more also properties there, but as of now I'm going to use these two properties, and most of the time or frequently we can means we use these two properties. And here, okay, so now if I save and if I run the application, okay, so we can check in the browser. Once I click on the register button, whether we can able to open that material dialog or not. Okay, so now open the browser. Okay, so here actually one error we got, that error related to static injector. Okay, that means something is not registered inside the module. Okay, so here null injected error, no provider for mat dialog. Okay, yeah, obviously I expect that this kind of error will throw, because uh, we have used that mat dialog, but we not actually informed to angular that what is mat dialog. Okay, so for that, as I created here mat module. Okay, so here we need to use that module. Okay, so if I open the browser and if you go to the dialog section over here in the angular material website, here so here it's a dialog, and if you go to the API reference, so here clearly mentioned that if you are using the material dialog, then you should register that app, mat dialog module. Okay, so I will copy and paste it over here and here as well. Okay, now save the page, open the browser. Okay, I'm reloading. Okay, let me log in. So here employee. Okay, so now if I click register, so another one error is coming. So no component factory found for emp register component. Did you add it ng module entry components or not? Okay, here we should keep in mind that if this kind of error is coming, that means we missed out to register the component inside the entry component, because whenever we try to load the component in the runtime, we should register that component inside the entry component, and basically for that only entry component is designed by the angular team. Okay, so what do we need to do? Okay, so here EMP register component actually nothing but EMP register module, and this component actually resides under the hood EMP register module. Okay, so that is why first I've injected means register that component in the entry components array. Okay, so and as this is one kind of module, so first we need to register that module inside the EMP container module. Okay, otherwise it will throw, because when EMP container module will load in the runtime, so that time no EMP register module is registered. Okay, that means Angular doesn't know about this module. Okay, but as we are trying to sorry, trying to open that or render that EMP register component inside the dialog. Okay, so in that time, that component Angular doesn't know this about this component until and unless this component is not registered, and this component is registered under the EMP register module, and that is why we need to register the EMP register module inside the EMP container, because whenever this EMP container module or this page will get loaded, that time this EMP register module also will be loaded. Okay, now save the page and open the browser. Now if I click, here we go. So here everything is working fine. So dialog is opened, and inside the dialog EMP register component also is rendering. Okay, so now if we go to the EMP container, sorry, here is the container. Okay, I'll close all the things, and I'll just simply open, sorry, that EMP register component. And okay, here I need to console whatever data is coming from the parent. Okay, here console dot log, and to receive the dialog material dialog data. So here add dialog data, we need to register that MatDialog data constant, or you can say token. Okay, so using inject, so here inject we can pass the token. Okay, so mat dialog data, this is one kind of token, and here we can give it a name, that as a public. Okay, so here dialog. Okay, this would be any type. Okay, so here if I console it, this dot dialog data, then let's see what data actually is coming inside the child component. So okay, here we can see, so from parent actually we are passing that src emp container. Okay, so if you go to that emp container component, here actually we are passing the src one. Okay, so in the emp register component we can now able to uh, means receive the data. Okay, now next step, whenever we will close the dialog, then that time parents should get to know the dialog has been closed, and if child wants to share some data to the parent, then also it is possible. Okay, so what for that what we have to do, here I will use on public, sorry, private dialog reference. Okay, so another more class is there, dialog reference, which contains the which holds the dialog reference. Okay, so which kind of dialog reference, so you want to keep it here. So this component reference. Okay, because we are opening the dialog, means we are rendering the component inside the dialog, the emp register component, and this is why we need to pass the type, okay, which reference you want to fetch from the material dialog reference. Okay, so this dialog will have some close method, okay. Here I will mm, write one public local method close dialog. Okay, so here this dot dialog reference dot close. Okay, so here one parameter, actually it expects, and this is an optional, so we can pass, we may pass or may not. Okay, but dialog result. Okay, here I just wanted to pass one object, and object can contain anything. Okay, so here I will pass src, that emp register. Okay, so if I open that emp register component here, I will add one button, and I will attach click event, and I will attach that close dialog. Oh, sorry, dialog. Okay, and button same. Okay, so save all the files, and go to the browser. Okay, if I open that, okay, sorry, I need to put some value of the button close. Okay, okay, now click, and also click the close. Okay, this dialog should close. Now if I open that emp register component, okay, here I need to check that method is firing or not. Okay, this method actually is not firing due to some problem. So here actually I'm not calling the method. Okay, so in order to call, we need to add the parenthesis. Okay, now if I close, then you can check the dialog reference. My dialog reference nothing but an object. This object will have some properties, and component instance, you can now you can check that emp register component. Okay, so this component will have on method that is closed. Now dialog should be closed, but in console I'm not able to print it out, whatever data actually passing from the child. Okay, so in order to catch, receive that data, okay, from the child, I need to go to the parent one. Okay, so here actually we are opening. Now here we need to register after closed. So after closed, nothing but an observable. Okay, so here as it is observable, we can subscribe it. Okay, so here we can pass the on parameter. Okay, here we can get it the result. Okay, okay, now click the register and close the dialog. Now here you can check that emp register, that data actually also is coming inside the parent. Okay, so this way we can open, we can render any component inside the dialog, and we can pass parent to child and child to parent. Okay, through dialog as well. That's all for the day, and this whole project I will commit in the repository, git repository, and I will put the link inside the description box. Okay, and you just do it by yourself. And still, if you have any concern, so don't forget to leave a message in the comment section below. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.